Today I'm going to be talking to you about ChatGPT. I've been writing for the past 9 years of my business and career, and actually made the opportunity to take time out of my schedule this week to use it for a couple of hours uh, as an experiment and to see what it can do for me. But I'm here to talk about how it can help you. So first and foremost, ChatGPT is going viral on social media. A lot of people are saying this is a great way to create content if you can't afford a writer, if you don't want to pay a writer. But from a writing perspective, there are different angles, whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, and an employee, that you need to be mindful and careful for, that I'm going to talk about right now. So about a month ago, there was a news story that came out that there was a error in the source code within ChatGPT. So for all my non-tech people watching, basically there was something inside of the technology of ChatGPT that caused someone to be able to see customers' billing information, personal information, and data of users, including, let me see here, users' chat, user history, etc. So it was this viral opportunity that was going out. Students were excited, people were excited. They no longer had to write themselves or pay somebody to write, but there were some vulnerabilities, in my opinion. Uh, I didn't really see too much, like how much it impacted the brand from an economic standpoint or security standpoint, but I would say on a level of, it could have been an opportunity to be categorized as a very, very high issue as far as vulnerability is concerned. So when you start out on ChatGPT, it's actually going to put a prompt up saying that be careful of what you put on the platform, because, well, obviously there's always security issues and everything on social media or chatbots, etc. So just be mindful of that. Now, from a work or business perspective, for myself, I was able to get a lot done. I had this impression in my mind, though, that I was going to use it, create a lot of content, and be done with in my day within a couple of hours. And that's not exactly what happened. And from a writing perspective, I look at quality, tone of voice, and everything. And there are so many different angles that you have to be mindful for. So all my students and candidates on the line that are using ChatGPT for questionnaires, for submitting writing or some kind of content sample, you're doing a test and you have a couple of days or a couple of hours to do it, just keep in mind that a lot of people are going to be using ChatGPT now. So if you are in a competitive standpoint where you're using the chatbot to create content and other people are applying for the same job, or other people in your course or class are using ChatGPT for the same essay, there's a very, very strong possibility that your content will sound the same as 30% of the students in your class. Your content will sound the same as many other candidates that are trying to get that job or apply for that scholarship, etc. So just keep this in mind. So because I think that there's a lot of this thought process that it's going to eliminate writing, but if you're in a competitive standpoint, this could work against you. Not too long ago, I shared a video on TikTok about 2 or 3 months ago. There is a student who originated from Toronto, created an app that's the reverse of ChatGPT, that actually helps professors and people who use his platform to figure out if people are using ChatGPT. There was a video that went viral of this entrepreneur on TikTok who was looking for a writer, and she was using this app to see if candidates were using ChatGPT to create content for their resumes, their cover letters, questionnaires, etc. And she, I believe, I'm not sure if she disqualified one of these candidates, but she said that particular role she was looking for was a writing role. So in her mind, she was thinking this person probably might not even know how to write. And now they're going to hire, she could have potentially hired them and be using ChatGPT for everything, which causes so many different problems when we get deeper into this conversation of layer of things. So just keep that in mind. Now, I do believe that ChatGPT can help your writers, help you as an entrepreneur find information. As a user myself, using it for several hours, I did realize that it reduced a lot of my research time. To me, it kind of was like Google, but instead, if I used Google, I would have probably spent more time doing research, finding articles and reputable sources to put content together. The one thing that I appreciated about ChatGPT is that it would you would put in a question using specific keywords based on what you're looking for, and it would give you, I would say, bullet points of what it is that you need to answer the question. But again, we'll get into the layers of how this can be problematic for some of you on the line. Now, what I did notice in using ChatGPT from a writing perspective, from somebody who's very conscious of tone of voice, word selection, etc., that there's not much personality within ChatGPT. So if you are trying to create creative content, humorous content, funny content, I'm pretty sure there are other AI chatbot apps out there that might implement, humor and things like that. But it was very, very robotic. And again, it was just kind of like reading something from a dictionary. So I actually had to take time to edit the content from ChatGPT, even though I spent less time researching or no time researching, because ChatGPT kind of does that for you through the artificial intelligence. Now, if you are a student and you're using ChatGPT, there are some professors that may or may not tell you ahead of time that if you use ChatGPT for a survey or a project, that you can get a failing grade. You definitely want to, if you're signing up for school this summer or something like that, you definitely want to ask your professor if you can use artificial intelligence tools to assist you with your homework. And the reason why I say that is I saw another video on social media not too long ago where this professor the video went viral. This professor was irritated and irate with the students. And I think he said something like majority of the students in a big university classroom, not a small room, used ChatGPT to complete an essay. And he was really livid and upset and disappointed, actually, based on the words he used and how he was communicating to the students during the class. So if you're a student, make sure that you are mindful of how you use ChatGPT. Professors now have access, as I previously mentioned, to apps that can read your content and determine if you're using artificial intelligence to finish your homework. And not just that, let's say you have a professor or a teacher that doesn't scan any of students' content to see if they're using artificial intelligence apps to create content. What if all of you in that room, in that classroom, have a specific essay to do, or a homework project, or a business case to do, same question, different students, and half of those people are using ChatGPT, and you're not editing your ChatGPT content. So now you're giving your professor a ChatGPT essay that sounds like half of the students inside of the room. That's going to be an issue for you if you're trying to get a good grade, and it doesn't look like you're plagiarizing work, if you know what I mean. Now, from a business perspective, I do believe, again, that it can help entrepreneurs and businesses of all sizes to cut out time in research and get down to the facts, get down to the data, get down to the information. But if you are trying to have a specific tone of voice that doesn't sound like every other, shoe company or health company or pharmacy or whatever that you own or that you're marketing for, you definitely want to be mindful that, yes, ChatGPT can give you the content, cut out the research time, but put your flavor on the content so that, let's take, for example, you create a piece of website landing page content for your employer or for your business, and then a customer wants to buy something for you. Let's say you create content for a living or you create content for your career. Now, a customer or potential client takes your landing page content, discovers that you're using ChatGPT, and is thinking in their head, well, if this organization is using all this scripted content that is in ChatGPT, I'm going to sound like my competitors because my competitors are going to use ChatGPT most likely, And this company is heavily using ChatGPT. So there are so many layers why this chatbot technology is great, and there are so many layers how it can work against you. But we'll keep going. So, from a reputation standpoint, all the writers, content creators, all my marketers, editors on the line, I think that ChatGPT is great. I only had a certain amount of time to use this, so I used it. I just didn't have time to do some research for what I was doing, but it definitely helped. But I put my own flavor on it. I put my tone of voice. So if anybody were to put a piece of content that I'm using, it's not going to sound as if it's a robot. There's no emphasis on friendliness or compassion or sympathy. And I think that that's what ChatGPT lacks. And I could be wrong. Maybe there's a paid version. I didn't do a deep dive on this that might have personality. But then your personality is based on who you are as an individual. Your brand is based on your personality, which might not be able to be recovered by artificial intelligence. And you might think, well, I'll just get an app. You might think to yourself, you'll get an app that has personality in the content creation. But what if your competitors are using the same personality? Now you sound like da 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 da. So that's why I think that it's crucial to have somebody overseeing this content, like a proposal manager or a marketing writer or an editor or something like that, to put your little flavor on it, because it's just will help you out. What else can I say? I think that ChatGPT is here to stay. I was absolutely amazed and actually felt very, very happy. I think one thing that it made me feel, which is what I've been told that I help brands and organizations feel, is that feeling of relaxation that, okay, I had a certain amount of time to create content. And within that time, I was able to do that successfully and not put so much time into the research, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, because I'm a content perfectionist, I didn't just copy and paste and went about my day. I copied and pasted and edited it based on my tone, based on different scenarios, based on my personality, and so on and so forth. I think that there will be competitors with ChatGPT, and I was only using the free version, but it was really great. And one thing you need to consider too is it's very specific. It's a specific based platform, so you have to add the keywords that you need within the questions. And if you're doing like a questionnaire or something like that, or you're doing a piece of content that will be repetitive in paragraphs or explanations, just change your question, change that sentence to ensure that it just doesn't sound like a repetitive piece of article or a piece of blog or a landing page, etc. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I work with a mindset/business coach, is that ChatGPT is very philosophical in a way, because if you ask the right questions on ChatGPT, you get clarity, you get answers. This is the same thing in life when it comes to business relationships, your health, your wealth, your friendships, your romantic relationship. Asking the right question, even if all my single people on the line who are dating, if you don't ask the right questions, I know this is getting real philosophical now, but if you don't ask the right questions in life to the people that you care about, when you're going out to buy something, when you're out on a date, when you're with your children, when you're talking to your mom and dad, it doesn't matter. If you don't ask specific, clear questions, it's going to be very hard for you to get clarity in life. And clarity comes with peace of mind. It comes with being successful. It comes with not worrying about XYZ, because yesterday or a few minutes or a few seconds or hours ago, you asked the right questions and you got clarity to start that job, start that project, date this person, get the right, product for your mom, your husband, or your best friend for their birthday, versus showing up at the party. You didn't ask the right questions. You gave the person something that they don't need, and now they're kind and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll take it, but they might sell it to someone else or might not ever use that product again. So I think from philosophical standpoint about life, that just like ChatGPT, asking the knowing what it is that you're looking for on the platform and in life, and being able to ask questions. Sometimes you have to tweak your questions on ChatGPT to get more specific information, but how are you going to do that if you don't know what it is that you're looking for? If you don't know, have at least a basic understanding of what it is that you're trying to pull from the chatbot. And this also applies to life. I can guarantee that a lot of the disruptions that happen within organizations, a lot of the issues that happen in friendships, relationships, networking, business, whatever you want to call it, a lot of it comes down to a lack of communication. And I do believe that the person that put this chatbot together really wants to help people communicate effectively and get more done in less time, which is great. But again, you have to know what it is that you're looking for. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use ChatGPT again. I just wanted to use it for something that I was doing yesterday. I was strapped for time and I didn't have time to do a lot of research. I'm a writer, so I love putting content together. I'm a strategist as well and a consultant, so I often have to communicate on the fly and answer questions in meetings, and or within an hour get something done. And ChatGPT may not always be the case. And for all my employees on the line that are watching this, um, just keep in mind that if you're using it remotely while you're at work, if you're using it and your employer is, promoting everybody to use it, that's great. But if you're using it to get something done at work, just be careful, because let's say you use it for a product, you post it online, and then there's some loophole in it being called plagiarism. Now your company is being dragged from a litigation standpoint because you use ChatGPT. So again, getting clarity and asking questions of the ask of that piece of content, of that project, from your boss or your customers, whatever, is very, very important. And internally asking your boss, can you use ChatGPT? And listening to them if the answer is no, because the last thing you want to do is get outed that you're using a technology that you're really not supposed to, or that can make your business, your company, your employer, or your team liable. That is, I think, the thing that a lot of people are not talking about, maybe because it's not, it's fairly a fresh technology, but I just wanted to cover that. Now, if you enjoy this video, I did a video recently on how to keep your job and stay employed in an artificial intelligence world. I'm going to put that in the comments. And for all my startup founders, people in tech, or people in organizations or businesses that don't have a cybersecurity team, I also did a video not too long ago, within the past few days, on how cybersecurity teams save companies, and how putting together this team, and I'm not talking about an IT service desk or a help desk or something, or a server team. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking specifically for cybersecurity. Check out my other video, and that will give you some tips on how I can financially, from a reputation standpoint, save your company from a lot of heartache and pain. And if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button. Join me on TikTok as well. I have a link to my TikTok page in the About section. I'm going to do my best to cover as much technology as I can, with a mix of branding examples from pop culture, business, entertainment, etc., to teach all of you what not to do, and what brands and organizations are doing great that you can actually implement in your personal, not just business or work, but your personal life, and build a reputation for being the best at what you do. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. A lot of people are talking about the recession, but I want you to fully understand that the people that have been building their reputation for doing what it is that they do, whether they're really great at flipping burgers in McDonald's, or they're really, really great at doing statistics at their job as a data analyst, or whatever the case may be, people who built their reputation during and before the pandemic and are really, really amazing and great at what they do, whether they're using AI or not, are going to continue to get customers, get referrals, get job offers, get business. So this is why I'm doing this platform, not necessarily just to teach you everything that I know, but use technologies, review situations, see where brands and leaders and people went right and wrong, because it's not to out anybody. My job is not to create content to um, roast people. It's about looking at it as a business case, as a classic example of what we can learn from a situation, because whether it's a good situation or a bad that I share, we can all learn from situations that are going viral on social media, so that we can have a better life, we can have a soft life, we can have a great life, so on and so forth. So let me know, all my ChatGPT users, let me know in the comments, what do you think about ChatGPT? How have you used it? Is it helping you? Do you find that you're spending a little bit more time on it than you need to? Are you using it for everything? And all the people who are using ChatGPT who have a paid subscription, let me know in the comments. I'm not paying for it because I create all of my own content, but I'm just kind of curious to know how it's working for you, if you're feeling comfortable and confident and relaxed now that you have this piece of chatbot AI available to you, or if you are really, really great at creating your content and you don't need it. And if you have any ideas for my next live stream, let me know. I'm not going to have a specific date and time each week this time for YouTube Live. But if you are also on LinkedIn, I go live on LinkedIn doing different topics. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I believe that's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on LinkedIn and you want to learn a bit about this and that, branding, tech, how to stay employed, how to build your reputation so that you're the go-to person, not a liability to an organization, check me out on LinkedIn, and that's also in my About page. Thanks so much for joining me today, and have a great one. Take care.